Hi, I'm Brandon, and today on Full Metal American I'm going to show you guys how to make a natural patina on any kind of steel blade. So I've got this knife kit, and I got it from crazycrow.com, and it's a Russell Green River knife. Kind of simulates the late mountain man period, knives they would use for butchering and just general field use. And I thought about it and said, well, this is a great time for me to make a video about how to patina a blade really cheap. It's really easy. So all you're going to need to do this is some white distilled vinegar, some sort of can or pot, depending upon how big the object is. This will work well also for tomahawks and axe heads, any metal object you want to use. Do not use it for chainmail. I have tried that. It ended very badly. It just doesn't seem to work well. But with any sort of small blade or metallic object, you can do a patina with it really easy. Something else you're going to need is a heat source. I've got this little coiled heater that I use in my workshop. It works really great for little projects like this. Also, when you're finished, you're going to need some kind of oil. Now, I use Ballistol. You can use WD-40, gun oil, anything like that, and that's just to help preserve the blade after you put a natural patina on the blade. Now, you may be asking, why do I need to patina my blade? It helps protect it from rust. It puts a layer on it and it preserves the blade. But another reason a lot of people like to patina their stuff is it makes it look more rustic, more authentic, more like it's been hand forged or it's been aged. If you're a trapper, you can also use this method on your traps as well. So I'm going to set this up and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so then the first step in doing this is getting your hot plate heated up. If you'll notice, I'm outside right now. The reason for that is when you boil, you're going to have to boil the vinegar before you place the blade or the piece of metal in it. And if you do this inside, your house is going to smell absolutely hideous with vinegar. So I recommend you do it outside or with your windows open at the very least. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fill up our can with vinegar. Alright, so we got our vinegar on there. You can hear the geese in the background making noise. Well, we're going to get the vinegar up to a rolling boil here, and when we're at that point we'll place our blade in there. Now, as with any project involving heat or fire, and you can do this over an open fire. I've taken steel pots and I've done it with axe heads over an open fire before. Make sure you've got gloves or some kind of protective gear on so you're not burning yourself. This can be a little risky at times. Make sure you have tongs and stuff for removing the blade from the vinegar, and you're not doing it with your hands or something crazy. Alright? So we're going to wait, and when this gets up to a rolling boil, we'll move on to the next phase. Alright, we're starting to get some bubbles here. It looks like it might be hot enough. Normally I'd like it to get a little hotter than this. This heat plate kind of sucks. So what you can do at this point is pretty much just place the blade right in there. In this case I'm going to have to rotate it because the blade's too long. Now usually you let it sit in there between 5 to 20 minutes. It depends on how hot your vinegar is. Obviously, for those of you that remember chemistry from high school or college, heat generally increases chemical reactions. So the hotter it is, the faster your patina is going to set. Because essentially the acid in the vinegar is causing a controlled rust on the metal. Alright, so I'll let you know when it's time to rotate. So when you get through your first bit, you're going to rotate it about halfway through in this case to kind of even it out, and then we'll flip it and do the handle. Now, if you're looking closely here, you can see that the blade around the blade is bubbling. And that's partially because of the chemical reaction that's occurring right now. You'll see it kind of getting dark. It's important, not real important, but I would definitely think about it. If your blade comes greased or covered in some kind of oil, I would try to remove that first. I mean, generally the acidity of the vinegar takes that off, but it will definitely speed things up if you do that before you place the blade in there. So it's been about a minute, and as you guys can see, our chemical reaction is in full tilt right now. That boiling vinegar is patinaing that blade nicely. So we've been going for about 2 minutes, guys, and already I can tell you just by pulling it out, we're already getting like a black matte gray kind of finish on it already, only after 2 minutes. So I don't think this one's going to take much longer than 5 minutes, guys. Now if as you're patinaing your blade you pull it out and you notice, oh man, I've got a couple spots that are still shiny, they're just not taking a patina, give it time and let it keep boiling, and eventually, usually those spots will eventually disappear. You may have to rotate your blade around. I had a couple on mine earlier where the whole area looked like a nice matte gray, but there were like 5 or 6 little dots that were completely shiny and silver. Perfect steel color. Now, all I had to do is rotate the blade and they're starting to go away, and just give it some time. So that's something to be mindful of. I mean, this is a very fast patina. I've had axe heads that took like 20 minutes before they finally got a nice matte gray kind of patina on there. So as you can see, our blade's about done now, at least the bottom half. I'll still have to do the tang here in a minute. But if you watch, pull it up, look at that nice matte gray finish on that blade now. And this is 100% natural. You're not using any strong abrasive chemicals. It's good for the environment. This is my preferred way to do this. You know, it's pretty simple and easy. It was something that the old timers used to use back in the day to patina their blades and equipment. I mean, you can use this on everyday items too, like bolts, screws, nails, anything that you want to kind of help rust proof. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it around and put the tang in there, and we're going to do that. But you can see just from the fumes coming off of it, it's already made that tang pretty dark. So we'll add a little bit more to it. It's important that when you pull the blade out that you try to wipe the excess vinegar off using like a cloth or rag or something. The reason this is important is because vinegar is acidic, and if you don't clean the vinegar off, like when I'm done with this, I'm going to wash the vinegar off with hot water, really quickly dry it as quick as possible. And then I'll be applying the oil, and I'll show you that part of the process too. But for now, let's flip it around. Alright, so we flipped it around. We're letting the tang get its nice little hot vinegar bath. What's always interesting about doing this patina method is you can always see the forge marks and things on blades. All the differences in the metal you can see when you patina it. It's kind of hard to see here, and we get inside, we'll be able to see in the light, but you get waves sometimes on a lot of different metallic patterns inside of the steel, depending upon how it was forged or made. So we're going to let this get another probably 2 to 3 minutes. The tang doesn't need as much. It's already gotten quite a bit just from the fumes being upright, but we'll give it a little bit longer, and then I'll show you guys how to wash it off and oil it. Alright guys, so it's looking pretty good. It's been about another 5 minutes on the bottom. So I'm going to pull it out here, wipe it off, and we're going to take a quick look at it. Alright guys, so our blade came out, and it's still got some marks on it, some run marks. I still have to rinse it and give it a bit of a polish with some oil, gently. You don't want to take the patina off, obviously. But it came out pretty good. It's pretty uniform. Like I said, it's still got a couple little spots here and there that we'll have to clean. But it nicely and safely aged the knife, put a nice patina on it. There are a little bit of rust spots here and there, like right there. That's normal. It'll come right off with some oil. So we're going to go inside, we're going to give it a quick rinse off to get the remaining vinegar residue off the blade. And then we'll oil it up, and it should be good to go for the rest of the project. So I brought it inside, and I quickly ran some hot tap water over it, full heat. And then I quickly wiped it down. And just that has taken off a ton of the extra dark, extra blackness, and made it a nice gray now. So I'm going to oil it up with some ballistol and slowly polish it with this rag here. And that should bring it down to a nice even gray. So what I've done is I've coated the blade in the ballistol, and I'm just going to let it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute to let that oil kind of soak into it, and then we'll wipe it off and do some polishing. Alright guys, so we finished just giving like a quick 1 or 2 minute polish job on it with a sock, and wiped the excess oil off, and it came out pretty good. It's not too bad. It's got a little bit of forging marks and some slight, get out of the light there for you guys, some slight colorations on it. It could definitely use a little bit more polishing, but essentially it's done. Depends on how you want the end product. I like my stuff to look a little more primitive and kind of like it's been used. But so yeah, this is a short little video for you guys on how to patina your own blades using a natural process that doesn't use any harsh or toxic chemicals for the environment. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.